Hello, welcome to Casual Chit Chat, late night authortube chit chattery. What are we doing? I'm Melissa, I write books. The lighting is terrible. I kind of look like I've been filming for 12 hours, 3 days in a row, which is true. Let me just catch you up. So it's Tuesday night and I work at a college. Sorry, that is such a random detail, but it is relevant. I'm the videographer for the college, and it was move-in orientation week. And so Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, which is today, I literally worked 8 to 8. And it's not done yet. Still have tomorrow. So I have done no writing since I think Saturday morning, which is odd for me. Like I don't do that. I don't go this many days without writing typically. But it's been so busy, I like sort of haven't noticed. It's just kind of weird to not be in that rhythm. But I think it was needed because I'm sort of starting to get the itch. Not enough to actually write today because it's like 9:30 and I need to sleep. But it has been nice to like fully creatively focus on something else for a few days. Which is funny because I've been writing this book for literally 3 days. Like it's not like I've been writing like thousands and hundreds of thousands of words of this book, but don't know what the point was of saying that because I have nothing to say following it. But I have written one chapter and I really want to be in a spot where I am like ready to write a lot over the weekend. But I'm on chapter 1. Actually, I think I'm on chapter 2 now. I finished chapter 1 of this book. And because I feel like beginnings are just a little bit slower generally. And pair that with, I've just been working on a different book. Like I literally shelved a book less than a week ago, which is crazy. I think it was actually exactly a week ago, which is wild. It seems like a lifetime ago. So I just like started a new book. And then sort of took 4 days off, I know you're probably listening to this and being like, Alyssa, I take 4 days off all the time. And that's fine. Like, this is not a judgment. It's just like abnormal for me. And I'm just kind of going back and forth about how I want to go about writing this book. Do I fast draft? Do I edit as I go? Do I spend 4 days on one chapter? Do I write really slowly? Like, how do I go about this in a way that maximizes my time? But also it's not all about maximizing my time. Like I don't need to be like a slave to my time. I used to have a job where one of our like core values was maximize efficiency. Doesn't that sound like the most corporate like doomsday end of times slang ever? But I was trained in a very like, how can we maximize every minute? Like we timed how long certain parts of the process took so that we could shave minutes off. And so that we could calculate like how long does it take to edit 25 videos? And we got it down to like 12 hours. Like you could edit 25 videos in 12 hours. I think it has like sort of wired my brain in an interesting way because it tapped into this like natural inclination that I have, which is to work a lot and to finish things and to be productive. And like part of this is like, I was also like an A student too of like, I get my homework done and I do my essays on time and I'm a bit of a teacher's pet and I go above and beyond on school projects. And like, I'm not a perfectionist by any sense of the word, but I was very a high achiever. And I don't think that's wrong. Like, I don't think that's something I need to like, oh, I'm so upset I was a high achiever. Like this is how I operate best, is to work and get things done. Like that is when I am the most happy, is when I am in routine following hitting deadlines. And I know that sounds like I'm just part of the corporate girl boss machine, but I think when I had this job fresh out of college where I was literally timing my creativity, which essentially what that does is it strips the creativity out of it. Like, videography is at its core like a very creative job. And the way I learned videography was to do it like an equation. Like there was literally an equation. And I edited like 700 videos in 2 years at that pace. I think it really I don't want to sit here and like, oh, it ruined me, because I don't think it did. Like, I think it taught me a lot of valuable skills, like the different purposes of video editing. And like some videos you can just edit like that, and it doesn't have to be a creative masterpiece, award-winning film. And like it taught me to work well with other people. Like, it taught me a lot of things, and to actually grit through and get things done. Get it done was also another one of our core values. But I think everything has a basement and a ceiling. And so the basement of that training is that I can sometimes strip the creativity out of the process for the sake of efficiency. I actively avoid doing this with writing, but sometimes I think it slips in. And but the ceiling of that is like, yes, I've managed to conquer this thing that a lot of writers struggle with. Like, I think one of the most common struggles for just people starting out with writing is like finishing the book and getting it done, and like staring down the blank page and doing the work. Like, that is a ceiling from that sort of training and that sort of mindset, like both from the A student and from this like video job that I had. I think that there were obviously great things that came from that, but also the basement, I just need to like remember that I don't want to strip the creativity out of my writing process. And truthfully, I don't think I have, but taking a few days, I'm just like trying to figure out what is going to work the best for writing this duology that is like a process that is not indulgent, but that like enhances and invites my creativity in more, rather than like a drill sergeant process. Because I feel like when you're coming up with a strategy, it makes sense of like, okay, how many chapters do I need to do a week? How many words do I need to write? All this stuff. It's just hard, because I do think that that's valuable. Like, I think having deadlines and having discipline to hit those deadlines is good. But if I'm hitting those deadlines in a way where it's like I've grunted my way through chapters that I probably should have spent a little more time in, I don't want that either. And this book, I'm doing something new where I edit as I go a little bit, and I type with my finger. I haven't typed a book I typed The Wedding Season. The last 2 books I've written have been dictation, and so that is just kind of a different piece. Back to my point was that I can approach this in a way that is a healthy balance of both, where I have structure and I have like goals to hit, but I also like invite the work to be great, if that makes sense. And I was actually watching a video from Bethany Atazita. She is on YouTube, and her video today was talking about her, like the way she's been able to edit first drafts in a way. And she talked about this method where you discovery write and then you edit in a loop as you go. And I don't know about the discovery writing. Like, I have an outline for this book, but I'm not glued to it. But essentially, she describes this method. I think she heard it from somewhere else. So it's kind of like I'm telling you something that somebody else told me that somebody else told them. So it's not me originating anything ever, but where it's like every 500 or 1,000 words, you go back and you loop back to the section, and then you like read through it and edit through it and type through it. And I think I've been doing this to an extent with, like, I did that a little bit with Sunshine, but I would do it at the end of each chapter. And what this method recommended was that whenever you feel like you're stuck or you don't know exactly what's going to come next, and if it's been a little bit, go back to the beginning of the section and type through it. And use those like, oh, I don't quite know what happens next. Like, whether it's a piece of dialogue or a plot thing, or like really you're stuck, take that opportunity as a natural stopping point to go back and edit through the section. I'm going to like try to commit to that of writing and like doing an editing loop. And apparently you're supposed to start each writing session by like leave it on you haven't edited through the section yet part, and then you edit through and then start writing. And I think I've been doing a variation of this, so we'll see. I'll let you know how that goes. But I think that is a good mix of letting scenes breathe and like going back to sections more than one time, because I feel like the hardwired like get it done, maximize efficiency part of my brain is like forward, and that is the common advice. But I think going back and fleshing out things and breathing in the scene and like spending more time in each chapter is really what I need. But I need a mix of it because I also need to be moving forward, or else I lose motivation. So yeah, that's my strategy. I don't know what the thesis of this video is. I don't know if this is its own video on its own, but it's just kind of what I've been reflecting on. Because it's always a fight to rewire your brain, but I think it is necessary for me. Like, I think it would work. Like, the way I have been writing books would work, where I power through a draft, and then I power through a revision, and then I power through another revision, and then I power through 8 drafts until, like, then it's finally readable at the end of 8 drafts, because I've, like, powering through a draft doesn't a good draft make. And good is so subjective. Like, everything is good and nothing is good, and no one is good and everyone is good, you know? Actually, you are good. Anyway, like, that is how I've done it. And it's been I think it's been probably more work in the long run, because you have to do so many drafts just to make it, like, good. I think I'm still doing that to an extent, but it's just on a more micro level. Like, I'm doing that all within a scene before I, like, lose the context of what the book is about, you know? Because it was hard to do that so many times, like, beginning to end all the way through, beginning to end all the way through, beginning to end all the way through, because when I get to an edit, they'd be like, what do I even do with this? And I don't want to, like, totally discredit the way I've been editing, because it has worked. And I do think that there's merit to that. And I will probably, like, when I get into later stages of this book, like, read it in a row a bunch of times still. I probably will. But my hope is that doing it this way, I can turn those first 3 drafts into 1 draft. And then when I am going through and doing all the line edits and the copy edits and the flow edits, it's not drafts 7, 8, and 9. It's drafts 3, 4, and 5. You know, like, that is the real goal, because I did find a lot of value in, if you haven't watched all my videos, like, the late stage editing I did on Gas Station, where I was line editing all the way through, and then I was line editing again all the way through. And I thought it was really helpful to see the book as a whole by reading it in a row a bunch of times. But by the time I got there, I'd already written 3 different drafts, because just to get the, like, line level and plot level, like, to be readable and good. And so if I can manage to do that before, like, and have this draft be solid and beta reader ready, and then be able to do that intricate flow reading and editing, maybe I won't be so sick of the book by then. I say this all, but, like, if it goes trout, like, I'm going to edit this book 1 billion times more. So I don't know. I'm just kind of seeing. I think it will help me to feel better, because I'm also not moving through plot so quickly. Like, when you're writing 2,000 words a day and then you're moving on, you're moving through plot so fast. And then it's like, you barely even know what even happens in the book, because you move through it so fast. And I really don't want to be a person who keeps, like, poo-pooing on my past work and my past process, because it worked and it was fun and I liked it and it was good. I just don't know if it's very sustainable for me to continue to do that. So I'm going to try editing as I go. Yeah. I'll see you so soon. Bye.